What's cracking, YouTube? This is BBSP. Wanted to come with another video. Know it's been a while and everything, but you know how it is with everyday life, and you're dealing with bullshit, and you're dealing with outside shit, you know. But I wanted to touch base on this Kyrie Irving situation. This Kyrie Irving situation, okay? At this point, given that all that's taken place, given all that's came out, I was with Kyrie because, end of the day, I feel like you shouldn't be mandated or forced to be taking a vaccine that, number one, yeah, it's proven to be effective toward the virus, but people are still getting the virus. People are still getting the virus out here. They're still getting the virus, but they say it's less effective. But what's the difference between it being less effective, right, with being less effective and more effective with the people who got the shot? People have their different opinions. People have their different outlook on why they're vaccinated and why they're not vaccinated. Okay. For one, like I told you before, I'm not vaccinated. Okay. And I've taken the proper precautions to make sure that I don't catch the virus again. You know, I'm loading up on zinc. I'm loading up on a whole lot of vitamin D. You know, and for me, I feel like you shouldn't be exempt. You shouldn't be forced to do anything to live your everyday life. Yeah, I think it's bullshit for me because I think it's bullshit to me because they're making this thing an everyday situation to where it's costing people their jobs to where they can't work and they can't make everyday living with their lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? And for me, it's like one day they get out this information that the virus is subsiding and shit, and the next day they come up with these new kind of strains. I mean, shit is not adding up. You know, it's not adding up to the point where, okay, you're telling me I can't do this, right? You're telling me that I can't do this without being vaccinated. You know, I feel like that's close to being a dictatorship. I understand people, they're trying to protect themselves, and they're trying to keep themselves healthy, keep them look out for them. And just for me, you understand you got to take certain precautions. Me right now, I'm not. I'm self-employed right now. I'm self-employed, but I understand in some capacity, some businesses, as far as employment, you have to get the vaccine. But right now, for me, I'm self-employed. I'm self-employed and everything. But I feel as though this whole mandate system, this whole thing about mandates, it's affecting everyday life, man. It's really affecting everyday life. And, it's like being vaccinated should be a choice. It should be a choice, you know. And I was, I'm still with Kyrie on that. But this whole situation, man, after clips, I saw clips of and shit of Kyrie's IG statement. I'm gonna be honest, man, and I hate going there, man, because I was for Kyrie's cause, but some of the things he said in there is talking about he's not anti-vax, and he's doing this for the people who lost their jobs because of the mandates. But how are you even going to, affect one person losing their job just because they didn't get vaccinated? End of the day, that's their choice of whether or not they get vaccinated. But there's consequences that come with that a little bit. And I don't know, man. Kyrie is all over the goddamn place, man. This dude is just, he's all over the place. One day it's like, oh, I'm anti-vax and everything, and I'm saying I'm doing this because I don't want to be vaccinated. I don't want to be forced to be in a situation to take away from the game that I've committed myself to. And then this whole IG speech, Instagram speech, he's all over the goddamn place, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, dude is a fucking head case, man. I'm sorry, man. For everything that Kyrie been through, you know what I mean? The whole thing about being forced to take a vaccine, like I said before, I'm with him on that. But this whole thing, like, now it sounds like to me, he's talking about he's not anti-vax. Well, then what the hell are you doing, Kyrie? What is Kyrie doing, man? What is Kyrie doing? I mean, I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I never have. Kyrie has just been. I mean, dude is a head case, man. Dude is a straight up head case. I know of all the stories about Kyrie when he was up in Cleveland that he would get into fights with his teammates every day. Shit on them, you know what I mean? Being moody and shit and doing all this other shit. Get into fights, fist fights with with Deion Waiters, disrespecting Byron Scott back when he was the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach, right? Then LeBron gets there, and he's acting all funny towards LeBron, and he's all in his feelings and shit. You know what I mean? And just going on 24/7, not talking to his teammates, going on this and that. Just saying snide shit. And, for me, I think he basically, that last year in Cleveland, he checked out. I really think he checked out that last year in Cleveland, okay? And then we get to Boston, okay? We get to Boston, all right? He puts them under the bus, I mean, I understand you didn't want to get, you know, you didn't want to go to Boston, but God damn it, you asked for a fucking trade, dude. Dude, you asked for a goddamn trade. And you made it known that if you weren't going to be traded, you were going to hold out and take surgery. And get surgery. Just so you wouldn't play. And you would cause distraction then if you didn't get traded and shit. And now all this bullshit, right? Let's go to 20, fast forward, going back to the Boston shit, right? Going back to the Boston shit. He puts them under the bus, gives a fake ass apology to LeBron, talking about he didn't know, he didn't he didn't realize the error of his ways, and he's trying to be a leader and shit. The error of his ways was only to show up LeBron so he could show up them young players in Boston. The free agency comes, right? The season comes in Brooklyn, and he puts his teammates under the bus yet again, going on to the media, the very same media he's at war with now and talking about these guys aren't good enough. We need to trade these motherfuckers. Right to the media, man. Right to the goddamn media. Right? And then he gets he causes all that commotion when they restarted the season and shit, going to the bubble and shit, right? And undermining, trying to low key upstage Chris Paul, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, that all this shit. Let's come down to today doing all this shit. Like Kyrie, what's the purpose of all this? What's your purpose? What is Kyrie's purpose, man? Somebody got to enlighten me, man, because he's saying one thing, right? He's saying one thing and doing a whole another thing with another situation. And I don't understand it, man. Like, if you're not anti-vax, then what is this stand? What is this cause for, man? I don't understand this guy, man. I don't get. He's wasting the Brooklyn Nets time. He's wasting Kevin Durant's time. He's wasting James Harden's time. The sole purpose of these cats was to get together and win a championship. So, you know, to compete for a championship, compete for an NBA title. But Kyrie's all over the goddamn place talking about he's not gonna get the vaccine. He's anti-vax. I was with him on that. I'm straight up 100% times more. I'm with him on that, man. Even though I may not agree with the way Kyrie moves, I'm with him on that. I was with him on that. But he's talking about he's going to be the voice of the voiceless, and he's not anti-vax. He's champion for the displaced workers and shit. You know, I don't get it. I don't understand this what this guy's doing. But thing about it is, now he's put himself in a corner to where, all right, either one or two choices. One, you retire. Number one, you retire just like you threatened to retire, right? Or you conform, you get the vaccine and shit. If you're not gonna retire. But the thing about it is, if he goes on to get the vaccine, he's gonna look bad, man. It's gonna be a bad look because one, you didn't stand on your shield. Number one, and number two, you caused all this commotion and distraction for nothing, just so you could get your point, get your standing across. But what is your stand, man? What is your purpose of all of this, Kyrie? I mean, I'm starting to think now, man, that this dude is all over the place, man, and he ain't got them all, man. He don't have them all, man. He can't think straight. He can't comprehend shit, right? Okay? And it's like, God damn, dude. Why are you wasting people's time when your cause is empty, man? I can understand if you were for the anti-vax, but you made clarifications on your Instagram post. You're not anti-vax. So what are you standing for, Kyrie? What is all this protest for, Kyrie? I'm starting to think now that this dude, it's going to be a waste of time with this guy. He's all going to be wasting our time. He's going to end up getting vaccinated. And he's going to end up looking like I'm sorry to say, man, I hate putting brothers like this on blast like this. He's looking like an hypocrite, man. You cause all this strife. You cause all this dissension with the Brooklyn Nets, in particular Kevin Durant and James Harden, for nothing. And why would even the Brooklyn Nets entertain the thought of bringing this dude back? It's beyond me. It's beyond me why the Brooklyn Nets will even bring this dude back after all this commotion he done caused. You know, like end of the day, you work for an employee. You know, but like I said, if his stance was anti-vax, I was with him 100%. Because once again, I feel like you shouldn't be forced to be mandated to do anything. You shouldn't be forced to mandated to do anything, man. End of the day. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a bad look for Kyrie Irving if, in fact, he does end up getting vaccinated after all this hoopla and commotion and not standing on his shield, you know. And difference between him and Kaepernick, you got cats out here actually trying to compare this dude to Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick actually stood on his shield. He was actually clarifying his message, right? Police brutality, right? Us getting killed in the streets by the authorities, by the cops, us being unjustly killed by the law enforcement, us unjustly being killed by law enforcement. Kaepernick saw what had to be done. He stood on his shield, and it was for his cause. Kyrie Irving, man, he's all over the goddamn place. He's all over the goddamn place, man. And that within itself is a distraction, man. If you don't know what you're standing for, you're basically leading everybody astray. You're leading everybody astray if you don't know what you're standing for. You know? And I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. And this is why I'll never get or understand Kyrie Irving, man. You know, I'll never get this dude. I'll never understand where this dude is coming from. You know, and like he was all over the place with his takes, all over the place, all over the place with his takes. You know, talking about I'm standing for the people that's been unjustly fired due to the losing their job for not getting vaccinated. I'm not anti-vax, and I'm not retiring. It's like one thing out the one and in one ear and out the other, bruh. And I don't understand your cause here, man. I do not understand your cause here, man. And like I said, you're anti-vax. You said you're not anti-vax, and I was with you on that. But I don't understand it, man. I don't understand this guy. I never have. I never have. Never will. You know, I don't understand this dude, man. And him being put in the same sentence as Colin Kaepernick, I mean, that's apples and oranges, man. Colin Kaepernick actually knew what the hell he was standing for. Kyrie though still has no idea what he's standing for. So this whole thing right here is shit is a fraud, man. Shit is fraudulent to me, man. And after further examining the situation and shit, right? Okay, all right. After looking at the situation further, I wouldn't be surprised that come next week, this dude is vaccinated, and all this hoopla and shit will be for nothing. And because that's who Kyrie is. That's who Kyrie is, man. That's just who fucking Kyrie is, man. And I can't take nothing. And if he does that, I'm no longer gonna take anything what this cat does seriously. No more. What this dude does, if he gets vaccinated, I'm not taking anything what he says or what he does seriously anymore. Because we all drunk the Kool-Aid, man. We all been duped. I know I've been duped after the shit I saw the other day. And it's like it's sad, man. It's sad. You don't know what you're standing for, but you're still out here causing this hoopla for nothing. I mean, if your platform gets taken away, which is playing basketball, right? how you gonna even get your message out there? Because you're not gonna have a platform, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have some things set up off the court, but it's like then you go and say that you have no intent on retiring and you want to play, you still want to play. If that's the case, if I were the Brooklyn Nets, I would trade his ass anyway because I had enough of this shit, man. No, I don't want me to be putting up with this headache, this distraction. But the irony of all this bullshit is, for years, LeBron James was painted as the bad guy and the reason Kyrie ever left Cleveland. But if you look at the pattern and shit, right? You look at the pattern, what's going on, when LeBron sits there and Kyrie sits there. Kyrie's been on three different teams since 2017, okay? But yet, they made LeBron to be the guy that's toxic, the guy nobody wants to play with, the guy that caused Kyrie to run off from Cleveland because he felt like he wasn't getting enough credit. But yet, when you look at the videos of the past, right? LeBron called this dude the best point guard in the NBA, but it wasn't enough for this dude. I mean, bottom line for me is, if Kyrie Irving ends up getting vaccinated, I don't want to hear shit no more about him being self-righteous, him being woke, none of that shit. You gotta remember, this is the same motherfucker that had an all-white girl party back in 2016. So come on, man. I'm willing to bet that he ends up getting vaccinated, number one. And number two, it's going to be a bad look, especially if the Brooklyn Nets take him back as a player, man. Because for me, I wouldn't even go there, man. I would have enough of the distractions and the bullshit. I'll be looking for a trade yesterday. And like I said, I hate making these kind of videos, man, because I stand up for brothers' causes all the time, man. Especially, Kaepernick. Guys like Kaepernick, man, and other guys, that's been shitted on by these white supremacists within the sports community. But when you somebody like Kyrie, man, who's not clear on things and can't comprehend what's actually going on, right? It's like, what are you even going through all this for, man? What are you going through all this for, man? But that's all I got to say. Hit the like and subscribe, man, and let me know what y'all think.